Alright, so this is going to be a little test run of recording a replay and seeing how this works for me. This is a game I just finished playing, and I thought that it would be interesting to show. This was a good game, close game. Looking at the matchup, we are top tier, and it looks like a tier 8 heavy game. They have a lot of people in clans grouped up. You know, just off the start, they have the destroyer advantage with 2 Fletchers. They have that going for them. They have strong premiums. They have 2 Bismarcks. We have a Bismarck Interprets. A little bit balanced, but I would say they have the advantage. We do have a radar, so we have that going for us. So my initial thinking here is to go to C to play between B and C on the map here. It's also the first time I'm using the replay function, so I'm not quite sure all the commands. So we can kind of look around some. So, at any rate, we are going towards C and B. We're going to hug the islands. We're going to try to support the Ognovoy as he goes into C, but I quickly see that he's not going into C, which is unfortunate. I want him to go into C. Our radar cruisers are going to A. The Donskoy has radar, but doesn't put himself in a great position to use it, really. And the Ognovoy not challenging C. We are in a very weak position here. However, we have some high-value targets showing up at B right now. The Kutuzovs are in a division together. They're a strong premium. They can burn lots of things down. They have great range. So those are very good ships for us to take out first. So my initial idea is to try to blow them up. We're going to smoke up here, kind of in the protection of the island. And we're going to try to get the Kutuzovs and the Bismarck if it's close enough, but from this distance, the Royal Navy cruisers are not strong. This is just inside their max range. Max range is 15.6 kilometers, so they are just inside of it. And with these bullet arcs, it's hard to hit anything. They're smoking up, so we're not going to be able to see them. But I'm trying to take some blind shots. We're getting some hits, but they're good. They're moving around in their smoke, so the reality of getting shots on those is not likely. Want to take a Fletcher next. And if you look down in the corner down here, we see another Fletcher and an Amagi in C. Our Ognovoy did go into C in a very strange way. I wish I had seen this sooner, but I didn't. So he is now in big trouble. He's got a Fletcher right here. He's got a Mogami that can support and an Amagi. This is not a great position for him. He's overextended. And he's got nobody that can support him. Meanwhile, we're trying to defend B, which is the only place we can really shoot at. And my smoke is... I'm going to have to move shortly here. And since those 2 Kutuzovs are in a division, they're sharing smoke. So that's going to be a real problem. Did kill the Fletcher at A, though, so that was one of their destroyers taken out. The unfortunate thing is they have the cap advantage, so... It's a weird replay bug right there. He's not moving like that. Didn't move like that when I was watching, but... okay. We did lose the Ognovoy, which is very unfortunate. Now, what we want to do here, this is a precarious position for me because I've now grounded, and there are people about to be starting targeting me. One of the balancing features of the Royal Navy cruisers are they are armored with paper and have a giant citadel, so I will eat damage like crazy if I'm exposed and people start taking shots at me. We see on priority target right here. I have somebody targeting me. I believe it was the Mogami, since the fire chances and all that. So now I want to push out a little more towards B, and since I can't go into C by myself, I could take the Fletcher on my own, but that Amagi could wipe me out. So I have to play this little nook and cranny right here and see what I can do while I have targets. That's the Mogami blind firing into the smoke. I want to kill the Bismarck though. The Bismarck is a higher priority, but the Mogami has Torps, and I need to take him out because he's trying to blind fire now. And that he should have switched to AP there, but the fact that he was firing HE from the orange tracers was a mistake. Even though Japanese HE is excellent, especially from the Mogami if he was using the 150, 152s, 155s, I believe. Now we lost another destroyer here. The opposing team's Minotaur took out our Kagero, which is a real problem. We have a lot of resources invested at A, and we have very little at C. And we're not getting anything out of those resources we're spending at A. We've lost 2 ships over there, a battleship, 2 of our destroyers. Losing the destroyers hurts. We just have a Fletcher left. He's going to go in there and do what he can. Charles Martel's pushing in too. However, with that Minotaur, North Carolina there, a Bismarck there, they have a lot of guns over there, not a lot of armor. The North Carolina and Amagi at A are just not in a good position to help those cruisers trying to push. The cruisers are playing very aggressive, and the battleships are not playing aggressive enough. Now I'm trying to just eliminate these Kutuzovs. I think these Kutuzovs holding the middle of the map are one of the things preventing us from pushing into C. The longer we keep them there, they can't support A. And as soon as we free up our flank, we can push into C. But I'm reading the map, and I see the Donskoy and the Ibuki, and I see the Amagi pushing in. And from his angle and the island that he's going between, he only has one path at this point. So it's pretty clear he's going to push these 2 cruisers and try to just delete them. Our Amagi manages to kill one of the Kutuzovs. That's great. Now this is a precarious position because at this range that Amagi could one-shot me. Absolutely no problem. So I need to stay not only behind the mountains and hills, but I need to be in a position to still destroy him. So I need to get in position to use my Torps, which is a little bit of playing chicken here. So I need to wait long enough for him to come around the corner. And I need to not get blown up in the process. And also, I only have 2 smokes left. And looking at the way the game's going, it's very early in the game. I've already used 2 smokes. I only have 2 left. I need those smokes as much as I can. So I don't want to use one here for an Amagi that should be killed by Torps. Now, all 3 of us are launching Torps here. We should be able to do a lot of damage to him. As I turn, I'm going to try to angle against him because he's going to have shots on me any second now. It's a little surprising he's not targeting me yet, but I think there's some shots right there. Those might have been secondaries, though. When I zoom in, he's not even pointed at me, so at this point, I just turned. We need to burn him down. And at this range, Royal Navy AP is going to absolutely melt him. So the volleys that I'm getting there are just gigantic. And we're actually starting to get some real damage here now. So that was pretty much all my damage right there to kill that Amagi. Now, I'm really torn here. I can melt that Fletcher and try to save our Fletcher. That Kutuzov is also very low, and getting him out would be a huge bonus. However, then this is where I start to get frustrated here. Our Donskoy and Ibuki disengaged from B. If they had pushed into B, we would have won this game a lot easier than we ended up doing. But I look at it, and I'm scared of the Kutuzov. I see the Bismarck pushing in from A, and he's going to have shots on me, so I'm thinking I'm the one with the highest stealth. I'm the one in position. I need to go cap C. I need to try to save points wherever we can. And also from the path of that Fletcher, I thought I might be able to get shots on the Fletcher, maybe even the Kutuzov from the little cove here while I'm capping. So I also know the Bismarck is pushing in to B from A, so I might be able to get shots on him too. Our Ibuki, however, is taking a pretty bad angle, but he is going to go help and defend it, which is great. Our Donskoy, though, is taking his guns out of the fight, and I start to get really frustrated with the Donskoy here. He should have followed the Ibuki, and they should have supported each other. Instead, our Fletcher gets hung out to dry, which is really unfortunate. If the Donskoy had gotten closer, might have been able to radar there and maybe do something with that Fletcher. Now, I make a boneheaded mistake here. I pop my smoke well before I'm slowed down enough to stay into it. So I am caught out in the breeze here with my pants around my ankles. And my only... Now there are 2 people targeting me. The Rune is probably one of them. The Bismarck. I don't know if it's Bismarck or the Fletcher. But we need to kill this Bismarck. He has to die right now. The Rune was one of them. He's a problem. Kutuzov is now in. Now I want that Kutuzov. I want to kill that Kutuzov. Minotaur is still out of position to do anything. I put smoke into, or my torps into the smoke to try to flush the Fletcher out. Thankfully, we get some movement on him, and I push him out again. But my initial aim, I didn't lead enough. If I had been a little quicker on adjusting my aim, I might have been able to kill him here, instead of just chunking him like I managed to do. Then he disappeared. I might have been able to kill him right there, but he gets away, which is really unfortunate. Now, the Donskoy is pushed up with me, which I am not impressed with. I know maybe we could support each other. However, our Ibuki is now left out to dry. The Minotaur is going to get him. We have the Kutuzov out there still. Now, this is... I don't know who spotted the Kutuzov. I think it was the Ibuki, which is... That Ibuki moving to that position is going to let us kill this Kutuzov, which is excellent. That's one more gun with some smoke out of the game. Unfortunately, we're going to lose the Ibuki any minute here. Unfortunately, the Fletcher is capping B, which is a real problem. And this is where things start to get tense. I honestly have not done a whole lot this game here. 63,000 damage at this point in the game, halfway in. I've used 3 smokes. And seeing a Rune, a German cruiser this close, that was terrifying. I did not expect him to be there. And I really need the Donskoy to help me here. He's got a lot of health left. He's got some heals left. He can push out and help me with this Rune, and we can double team him. Unfortunately, he just goes full broadside and keeps eating all of the German AP, and it's incredibly frustrating. He has radar. I don't know if when he's using it or not. Just a real problem. Now the Minotaur is opening up on me, which is a real problem. I have to use my smoke here. I can't stay exposed. The Fletcher's spotting me. I have to use my smoke here. I did not want to use it. I wanted to save it. I wanted to try to kill the Rune. I wanted to try to save it for the North Carolina. Using it here is a real problem. Now the Fletcher has torpedoed my smoke, and I could eat some Fletcher torpedoes. I still have all of my heals. So at this point, I'm more concerned with DPSing the Rune than I am preserving my health from the torpedoes. That might be a mistake. However, I did not expect the second volley of torpedoes coming in so soon. From a vastly different angle, too. And just that little second that I was exposed, real problem. Thankfully, we have the Royal Navy heal to get us back up. And we should be able to melt this Rune at this point. Hopefully the Donskoy... he's getting behind cover here, so I have to really try to bloop my shells over this little hill. In the meantime, that North Carolina Minotaur are pushing up, and I don't know where the Fletcher's at. I only have 30 seconds left on my hydro. I'm just shooting the hill at this point just to get whatever shells over, whatever damage I can do at this point, frankly. And this was a game of inches right here. So I catch the Fletcher out in the open, but he's going to get into cover really quickly. And this shot right here just split his tail and almost wrecked me. Now at this point, I'm scared because the Royal Navy, once they're stopped, it takes a little while for them to get going again. But thankfully, I can get some shots on this Minotaur at the same time and get back into my smoke for a little bit, just to break contact a little bit. Now, the smoke's going to fade in 5 seconds or so. But just that little bit of time is going to give me enough space to get around the corner here. And I'm going to be able to hopefully get a little bit more damage on the enemy Minotaur. So that's good. I did manage to get a couple citadels on him, or 1 citadel. So that was good. So we actually end that exchange about equal health. Now I'm going to use my heal relatively shortly, get as much health as I can. The Donskoy, is just in a horrible position. Thankfully, we catch the Fletcher there, and we're able to just get that one shot. Now, this is where it starts to get tense. The Donskoy is not in a position to support me anymore. He's once again taken himself out of the fight. Now, he's hiding from the Minotaur shell, so I understand why he's doing this. At the same time, it's problematic, because if they rush around that corner, I don't have any smoke left. I'm dead. And he's only got 3,000 health left, so one volley from either one of those could kill him too. So we are both literally one-shots for them. We have a Minotaur with more health than me left. We have a North Carolina left. I'm not sure what health he's at. At this point, the Minotaur hydros me. So he is within 5 kilometers. He's obviously hiding around this island somewhere. My hydro, the Y button down there, is up in 20 seconds, so I'm waiting. I'm getting some support from Lambda Rail. Thank you very much. Both enemies are targeting me, so that is also a problem, because now I know the North Carolina is close enough to target me. The Donskoy should be pushing up a little bit here, and should be coming back into C to support me, but he isn't. I put my hydro up, and we find the Minotaur, and we are in some kind of Mexican standoff here. And he's got 6,000 health left, so I'm not sure if the Donskoy was able to get a fire on him or what. But I see from my torpedo, the Minotaur's trying to edge out and get shots. So at this point, I just start just Daka machine gun firing away. I'm trying to get whatever shells over there that I can. I get a nice shot there. It really helped. Unfortunately, I'm backing up so fast that I'm actually taking my shots away here. And now I have to push back in to get the last shot. Meanwhile, the North Carolina is spotted by the Donskoy. That means the Donskoy can... the North Carolina can fire at the Donskoy, so that's a problem. Now what I want to do here is, now that I know they're seeing each other, I need to wait for the North Carolina to fire. So I'm waiting for some cues that the North Carolina is fired at the rune. I hear the gunshots right there, and I decide at this point to go for it. I'm trying to look around. You can't see it here. I'm trying to look and see which way his turrets are pointed. So if I can get his flank, I can absolutely melt him. But I know he's fired now. So now I have 30 seconds before he fires. I have my torpedoes up. He's not looking at me. I have no smoke, so I have to kill him in the next 30 seconds. It's me or him at this point. I shoot my torps. I almost ground here. That would have been disastrous. I shoot my torpedoes a little bit ahead of where he's going. I see him start to slow down, so I aim them a little ahead. I know he's slowing down, but I just get the broadside and I start blasting him. And I did not expect my AP to do this much damage so quickly. And we ended up winning that game. So that was Kraken. We don't see the end plates here, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that was one heck of a win. I hope you enjoyed it.